Hey there, fellow cultists. This is DM Nel, and I'm back with another episode of Shadow the Demon Lord Talk. This is my little video blog where I chit-chat about our favorite role-playing game, Shadow the Demon Lord. And I would ask that if you like my content and like my videos, like it in YouTube, because that helps to increase the visibility of my videos. And the whole point of me doing these videos is to bring more people into the game by providing them basically a video that talks about the game. There's not a whole lot of those out there, so I try to do my part. So like my videos and share them, and let's try to get more people into this game. All right, so what am I doing today? That's a good question. One that I've been pondering for a couple of weeks. I've got lots of stuff that I want to talk about this game, but trying to formulate that into a cohesive chain of thought is challenging sometimes. So I've been basically spending a good amount of time trying to do a few things. First of all, I am working on my normal campaign, which is my Tuesday night game. That's Shadow the Demon Lord. Then I have a Saturday game that I run once a month for my other group, and that is a D&D game. Won't talk about that here. But then I just started a third game, which is for my daughter's gaming group, and that's Shadow the Demon Lord. So I'll probably talk about that more in a separate video, but got a lot of Demon Lord going on. Plus, I am trying to come up with an adventure to run for my 50th episode. So that's what's driven this video. In going through my my files, trying to find inspiration for that game. And just to back up a little bit. So this is episode 47, I think, that I'm on. And what I'm trying to do is come up with an episode for my 50th episode, which is, this is episode 47. So I've got 47, 48, 49, 50. So I got I got three more normal videos, and then I got my 50th episode. So my 50th episode, I'm trying to do a live play, which I've never done. So I'm trying to figure out how that works. But in order to do a live play, I have to have an adventure. So I wanted to come up with an original adventure to run for a group of volunteers and run it over the live play. And I was trying to come up with some ideas for what that adventure might be. Now, I really wanted it to be an adventure that is, or I really want it to be an adventure that is really just captures the essence of Shadow the Demon Lord. So I started thinking, well, what would that be? And how could I make this, awesome? And as I have discussed in some of my other videos, pretty much everything that I do in Shadow the Demon Lord contributes to an overarching mega campaign that I have visualized in my head. And I try to visualize it actually on paper. Well, not actual paper, but in Foundry, where I have my stuff somewhat organized. But basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of mapping out a series of Shadow the Demon Lord campaigns that takes us from the first game that I ran in the campaign, which is Tales of the Demon Lord, all the way to the end of the world where the Demon Lord breaks through and devours everything, or tries to anyway. So this was a little bit inspired, incidentally, my mega campaign. I know I keep saying that I'm going to do a video someday about my mega campaign, but I think I've talked about it enough where I probably don't have to. But anyway, this was inspired by a comment that one of my players had mentioned when I tried to talk them into playing Shadow Demon Lord. And basically, I kind of sold it as, this is a world that is in the throes of its apocalypse. And, no matter what you do, the apocalypse is coming, and basically your characters that are just trying to survive. And my player was like, well, what's the point of doing anything then if the demon lord's just going to come and destroy everything in the end, and there's nothing we can do about it? So I was thinking, well, that's true. What is the point? I mean, there is something to say about survivalist games, but I'm not a big fan of those because ultimately it's just all gloom and doom, and there's really no way to stop the downfall. So you're just trying to survive, buy yourself another day. It's kind of boring to me anyway. So I that's where I came up with the concept of a mega campaign, where each campaign would be focused on one or two of the shadows of the demon lord, and then as the campaigns progress, each one of those campaigns would have a lasting effect on the campaign world. And so as the campaigns progress, the world becomes a worse and worse place to survive in, and the demon lord becomes more and more powerful, and ultimately will gain enough power to break through the genie barrier and reabsorb this reality. And that's the idea. But then I was thinking, okay, so how would that even be something that the player characters could prevent? Because that's a pretty ultimate cosmic event. It's like saying that you're going to stop God from destroying the world in the at the end of the Bible. And I'm like, well, so there's got to be a way. So I've been digging into the lore of the game, and I think the answer has presented itself to me in the lore of the game. And so part of the answer has to do with this little forgotten supplement. This little supplement came out, I don't know, does it have a date here? I don't see a date. Nope. Oh, wait. Yeah, there it is. Came out in 2016. So this supplement's what, 6 years old? Shit. Okay, so this 6-year-old supplement has never seen the light of day in my campaign. I've only read it a few times, and it is mostly forgotten. I've never seen it mentioned. I've never seen anybody even reference it. I haven't even seen Schwab go back to it in anything. So this is what I would say is a forgotten supplement. But this supplement right here is the key to stopping the demon lord. And this is the thing that is going to be the driving force for my final campaign. Now, I'm not there yet, and the game that I'm setting up for my 50th 50th anniversary episode is not going to be the end game for my campaign, but it is going to be featured in one of the later campaigns that I haven't gotten to yet. So this is going to be kind of like a snippet of that campaign. And so I wanted to use or introduce this supplement into my game so that I can start to foreshadow and get this concept of true names and power in a name introduced into my campaign, and get my players to understand the significance of true name magic. Now, besides this supplement, there's also mention of this type of magic, I believe, in the one of my favorite supplements, which is, if I can find it over here in my stack of goodies. Well, shoot. It is the supplement that features, well, crap. All right, well, never mind. Anyway, it's a supplement that has the Uh, why can I think? Okay, so it has demons, and it has. Oh, duh. Here it is. I can never remember the name of the supplement, and I should because it's my favorite. Hunger in the Void. Here it is. So I believe that Truename magic is touched upon, maybe not mentioned in that term, but it's touched upon in Chapter 5 in Secrets of the Void, which also features prominently in the end game of my campaign. So power in a name is based on Truename magic. Truename magic is not something that was invented here. That's something that has been featured in other things. So, in part of my research, I was trying to think of what other things would Truename magic be featured in that I could get some ideas from. Now, one of those things, or a couple of those things, I already know because I've read them, and that is um, a game by Monte Cook Games that was called Arcana Unearthed, or Arcana Unearthed. I think it was Unearthed Arcana first, and then Arcana Unearthed. He kind of flip flopped it. But Monte Cook Games had, before it was Monte Cook Games, it was Malhavoc Games, and they released an alternate version of their handbook called the Arcana Unearthed, and basically it featured all new classes and races um, in a separate campaign setting that you could use instead of, and, if you're tired of the old player's handbook and tired of the old character classes and races, then this book was provided to give you an alternate way of playing D&D without the old usual tropes. And so one of the things that was brought into that game was Truename magic. So that's kind of what introduced me to Truename magic. And then one of the sources cited for inspiration by Monte Cook was a series by Ursula Gwyn, I want to say, which is the Earthsea series. So I went back and read the first Earthsea book, and sure enough, it does feature Truename magic in it. So then I wanted to find out more about Truename magic because I haven't really dealt with it much my in my recent years. So, in researching for my 50th episode, I went ahead and dug up this Wikipedia page, which deals with true names. And I get a lot of good information here on the background of true names and some of the places where it would have or what it has featured in history, actual history, as well as mythology, I should say, not actual history, but in mythology and in pop culture. And so it goes, first of all, it says here, what is a true name? A true name is a name of a thing or a being that expresses or is somehow identical to its true nature. The notion that language or some specific secret language refers to things by their true names has been central to the philosophical study as well as various traditions of magic, religious invocation, and mysticism or mantras since antiquity. So here's some of the things in real world mythology where true names have come up. So the true name of the Egyptian sun god Ra was revealed to Isis through an elaborate trick. This gave Isis complete power over Ra and allowed her to put her son Horus on the throne. Socrates in Plato's Cratylus, don't know how to pronounce that, Cratylus, considers without taking a position the possibility whether names are conventional or natural, natural being the true name. That is whether language, that is whether language is a system of arbitrary signs or whether words have an intrinsic relation to the things they signify. And there's some more in here. I'm not going to go through each of those. And then I started looking for where I can go to do some more reading in pop culture. And there's a ton of stuff where true names are mentioned or featured. Arthur C. Clarke has this book where all the gods' names are discovered by Tibetan monks and the universe ends. Glenn Cloak's Black Company series, speaking a sorcerer's true name aloud can snuff out their magical power. All the magic users in the series are referred to by synonyms, and they'll go to great lengths to kill anyone who knew their original names. Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle, magicians can control somebody by learning their true name. The Hobbit mentions Smaug doesn't want, or Bilbo doesn't want Smaug knowing his name. So a feature or a book that or series that I have read that kind of touches on true names is the Dresden Files, and Harry Dresden doesn't want anybody knowing his full true name because that can give power over him. So anyway, there's just a ton of resources that you can dig into for true naming. So that's probably more information than I need for what I'm using it for. But basically what I need it for is a way to help resolve unresolvable issues that come up in the campaigns. So one of those unresolvable issues is going to be featured in my, where did I put that? Here it is. It's going to be featured in my 50th anniversary game. So I want to introduce this, and this is actually going to be the driving force for the story of that game. So what is the supplement, and why is it so forgotten? And why am I wanting to use it in my game? Okay, so the reason why it's forgotten is because it's not really, it's kind of a weird supplement. I mean, true names are a thing in the game, but they're not a tradition. So it's not like you can become or you can learn a spell that is from the true name tradition. There is no true name tradition. So what is it? What are true names? Well, true names are essentially the words of creation. And some of the lore in the game, reiterated here, but also in The Hunger and the Void, talks about how the genies created the world and the universe with the words of creation. And so the words of creation are essentially the true name magic. And so by using words of creation, you can call things into being, and you can destroy things, and you can modify things, alter their being, and you can control things. So words of creation are vastly powerful magic. I would say in terms that we can relate to in our real world, it's like the code of the universe. If you were designing the universe as a virtual universe, it's the code of that universe. And so true name magic is learning pieces of that code. And so that's what true name, this supplement just kind of goes into. How can that concept fit into the game? So it does go into a lot of information about how you would go about, first of all, discovering a true name, because what happened when the genies finished creating the universe, they didn't want their creation to be uncreated or unraveled, so they hid the code in the universe itself. So the code is not something that you can find readily. And you have to do a lot of research and do a lot of digging, and really, for the most part, it's next to impossible. But if you devote yourself and uncover clues, you might be able to find a true word, or a syllable of a true word, or perhaps even a letter of a true word, or one piece of the code. So it is exceptionally difficult to discover a true word, unless, of course, you have the right tools. And one tool that is available is a spell that is a rank 7 spell. So it is a very rank 7 spell that is an exceptionally powerful spell. That if you can find it, will help you discover the true name of something. But just discovering the true name of something doesn't mean that you can learn it. It's just like discovering a piece of code out of a program, and it's just a string of nonsensical letters and symbols that mean nothing to you. So you discover this piece of code that happens to be the true name of something, but in order to really be able to do anything with it, you have to understand it. You have to be able to commit it to memory. And the genies put some safeguards around this code to prevent that code from being easily used. So even just by looking at the code, it immediately leaves your memory after you take your eyes off of it. So it would be something exceptionally difficult to commit to your memory. So it goes about talking about how you would be able to learn true names. And I'm not going to go through all that because it's a lot of gaming stuff, but basically it enables a character to be able to not only discover a true name, but also to learn it and be able to use it in some fashion. Now, by using it, it enables you to do certain things. So this supplement goes into some of those things that you can use a true name for, and it also kind of puts some degrees of difficulty in here by if you're going to use it to control an entity, the power levels of the entities that you are trying to control, and how that fits into the mechanics of actually using the true name in that manner. And it goes about talking about that here later on when we get to the Namer master path. But you can use true names in a variety of different ways, and it talks about that here in the true name effects. You can use true names to summon something. You can use it to expel something. You could use it to unravel the defenses of something, to cause something pain, to deny power to something, to bestow a minor affliction upon something, to bestow a major affliction upon something, or to undo a true name. And undoing the true name would be basically unraveling that piece of code and causing that thing to disappear from the universe. It is no longer in the lexicon of the universe. It is unnamed, therefore it no longer exists. And so those are the things that you can do with a true name once you have discovered it, A, and learned it, B, and then be able to actually cast it utilizing magic power. Now, just having a true name and knowing, or discovering a true name and knowing a true name is not enough. You have to be able to invest magical power into uttering the true name in order to cause one of these effects. And that means that you have to use the casting of one of your ranks. And the higher ranks of casting that you use, the more power your utterance has. And so that's where the Namer master path comes into play. The people that are most successful with using true names are namers. These are guys and gals that devote themselves into the art of using true names in their magic. And you have a level 7 and you have a level 10, and their abilities facilitate their use of true names. And it's really pretty cool, but pretty limited master path. Unless you have a campaign that's kind of built around this, it kind of makes the application of true names rather difficult for just your typical spellcaster. So and this is probably one of the reasons why the supplement is not really in, at least I don't think it's in great widespread use, is because of its very narrow focus and it's very specific as to what you can do with this magic. So, but it's still very flavorful and very cool. If I were in a campaign running a spellcaster, I would want to try to work up towards having a namer in my campaign. Okay, so let's put this all back into perspective as to what I'm trying to do with all of this. So for my 50th game, I think it's going to be an expert tier game. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be searching for a way to end the shadow that is occurring, and the being that called it into existence. Um, and the way that they're going to be able to do that is to um, find somebody that has knowledge of true names of the things that we are dealing with in this particular campaign without giving away too much. So this has given me a lot of insight and a lot of inspiration on how to build that particular game and the campaign around it. So this is just going to be an expert tier game, and then once that game is over, I'm gonna kind of codify that as a session in my mega campaign, and then when my home team or my home group gets to that particular campaign in my mega campaign, then it's going to feature as that 50th episode game is going to feature in my overarching game or that overarching campaign. Okay, so I'm rambling now, but that is what I wanted to talk about on today's game. I also want to spend a moment to call out the artwork for this campaign. I feature a lot of the Shadow of the Demon Lord art in my videos, and I realized that I haven't really been giving credit to the artist. And I want to do that because there's some phenomenal art in this game, and artists really don't get the love that they deserve for the creations that they put into reality using paint and pencils and charcoal and other mediums. This stuff helps us visualize everything that's in the words. And some people have a harder time visualizing the written word, and artwork really helps people like that. Put pictures with the words. So this artist, just to give you a bigger view of the artwork, this artist's name is Kim Van Deun. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but Kim Van Deun did the illustration, and I went out and Googled the artwork, and she has a blog here called "In the Eyes of the Forest," where it features a lot of her artwork, and Schwab has used her for various pieces. So she is a really great artist, and actually I'm calling her she. It could be a he. I haven't gone in here and dug into. Well, maybe I should take a look before I stick my foot in my mouth any further. Okay, still don't know if it's a male or female, but at any rate, the artist is great, regardless of their gender, and I just wanted to call that out. Kim Van Deun did this piece. All right, so that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching once again, and that was episode 47. A couple more to go, and then we have our episode 50. So I better get my ass to writing that damn story or that damn game, right? All right. Thank you very much, and I will catch you next time. Hail.